function automatically when needed. For your safety, if you see the mask, please put mask towards yourself for oxygen.
Holy cow, that's some bad English right there. If I would be a first-time flyer on that plane listening to that English safety demonstration, I'd be out of that plane within seconds. Dear friends and followers, welcome back to my channel and to a very, very important video, as a lot of people have asked me, how important is English if I want to become a pilot? I'll be talking about the importance, what exams to expect, and how to best learn and improve your English skills. So get out your dictionary and let's get started.
English, do you speak it? Yes. Then you know what I'm saying. Describe what.
This video is brought to you by Camberley, the app which gives you instant access to native English speakers over video chat so you can learn and gain confidence. Get 15 minutes for free by clicking the link in the description box below. Okay, first things first. If you ask me how important English is in aviation on a scale from 0 to 10, my answer is 12. Let's rewind the clock a little. Back to 1951, the ICAO recommended to all participating states that English shall become the International Aeronautical Radiotelephony Communications language. Why? Because research had shown that the cause of numerous accidents happened due to language barriers and misunderstandings between pilots and ATC, and confusion in the cockpit after introducing standard operating procedures primarily in English. Now, sad examples like the two jumbo jets which crashed into each other on the island of Tenerife, all due to an impatient captain and misleading clearances by the tower controller. Or the unbelievable accident by Aviation in the 90s, where the plane was so low on fuel and the pilots were unable to properly declare a fuel emergency until running on fumes and falling out of the sky. Unfortunately, the list is pretty long of similar language barrier accidents, but it just shows how important good communication is in aviation. And sadly, the ICAO first acted 52 years later by introducing an English proficiency test in 2003. And the proficiency is scaled in levels 1 to 6. Now, to work and fly within international airspace, the minimum requirement is level 4. Level 4 is categorized as operational. 5 is extended and 6 is expert or native speaker. So the native speakers like the Brits, the Aussies and the Americans automatically get proficiency level 6 and don't need testing, except I had to. Although I have a British passport, I didn't get level 6 as I went to a German speaking school. But if you have been to an English speaking school, you fill out a form and immediately get certified level 6, which is for life, and you won't be facing any English tests within your aviation career. So congrats to that. But all other levels require a written and oral exam. So what does that look like? It's going to be a one-on-one with your examiner. He might play you a tape which you have to listen to and later explain what the conversation was about, or he wants you to translate a text from your mother tongue into English or vice versa, and for sure he will engage you into a conversation about literally anything. So be prepared that you at least get level 4, and level 4 then requires to retake the exam every 4 years, level 5 every 6 years, and as mentioned, level 6 is for life. Now, the other question related to the importance of English in the aviation industry is how can I actually learn or improve my English speaking skills? Now, okay, first and foremost, pay attention at your English classes in school and go pedal to the metal in your exams. Make your life easier by learning it as early as possible, because once you have a basic understanding, there are many ways of improving your English. Speak English as often as possible, obviously, or fly to an English-speaking country for a few months during your summer break. How did I do it? Now, I consider myself very lucky having an English-speaking mother who literally refuses to speak German to me, so my dad, who's German, took care of that. But I remember numerous long car rides to England with Rod Stewart blasting through the stereo with my mum's finger on the pause button, pausing the song every 10 seconds, and I had to repeat what Rod was singing and translate it into German, just to get a better understanding of the song and both languages. So my mind is still cluttered with countless lyrics of the Beatles, Tina Turner, Frank Sinatra, and many other great artists. Thanks, Mom. The same thing with movies. My sister and I were dangerously addicted to the series Friends, and we always watched with subtitles so we wouldn't miss a word. Until now, I can still rephrase entire scenes of the show, and obviously my favorite character is...
How you doing?
I would recommend that you and your friend watch a movie together in English with subtitles and stop the movie from time to time, and each and one of you has to explain to the other what went on in the last scene. In English, of course. By the way, don't forget you can use the subtitle function in all my videos, use them and practice. Even more effective, read English books of your interest and underline the words you don't understand, look them up in a dictionary and write them down on a little notepad so you can study the words you're having trouble with. But in the end, the most effective way of learning and improving your English skills is the direct conversation with someone who is fluent in English. And that's where Camberley comes to play. Camberley is this really cool Apple website where you can get your own personal English tutor who will help you to improve your English skills day by day via video chat. Now you can schedule meetings, the length of the video chat, and with any tutor who you'd like to chat with and learn from. You get notified in advance prior to your appointment, and you can also have the lesson via the app on your phone as you're on the go. And there are some tutors who are specialized in aviation, which can help you especially with the more technical vocabulary which you'll be needing when reading aircraft manuals. And oh yes, speaking of manuals, every aircraft manual, every checklist, weather information, NOTAMs, absolutely anything involving your airplane is in English. So see how important it is that you are proficient in that language. So invest in a monthly subscription with Camberley, become fluent and excel at your first airline interview. Yes, any European airline will check your English not just orally, but also with a written test with countless synonyms and grammar exercises, and trust me when I say, they are not easy. I've seen so many pilots acing their screening and then failing the English test. Wow, they felt so sorry for themselves for not preparing properly. By the way, the same goes for ATC controllers. When I prepare for my flights to foreign countries and the first sentence in the briefing chart reads this, oh boy. Okay, ATC controllers are going to hate me for what I'm about to say right now. But not naming any countries, but guys, you make a ton of money. Please do us pilots a favor and improve your English. So unprofessional and so embarrassing. Also, if the ATC controller and pilots speak in their mother tongue, in my opinion, can be dangerous. Why, you might ask? The clearance isn't meant for you anyways if the controller speaks in a different language. Yes, that's correct. But let's say you're in approach and you can anticipate what the other planes in your vicinity are doing by just closely monitoring their ATC clearances and TCAS display. It's good airmanship and creates situational awareness, which I do not need to point out how important that is. So let's say a Russian colleague is performing a go-around ahead of me. Sooner or later the ATC controller will ask what the reason was. And if he replies,
Сдвига ветра,
how on earth am I supposed to know that meant wind shear? And there are numerous ATC conversations where the pilots struggle to understand and reply to their requests. It's dangerous and unnecessarily blocks the frequency. And please don't have the impression that I'll learn English once I'm at flight school. It's way too late then. The instructor will be throwing technical phrases at you, and if you can only say, "Hi, my name's Joe, 2 beers please," you'll be failing exams quicker than you can think. Fake it until you make it won't work on this one. So please do yourself a favor and invest a little money in yourself, get the Camberley app and ace the English language with one of their tutors. Keep in mind, once you're in the cockpit, there's nothing more embarrassing if your level English is worse than your captain's. That's it for today. Definitely check out the Camberley website. Click the link in the description box below so you can try out the app and get the first 15 minutes for free. And thank you very much for your time. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you won't miss out upcoming videos. And don't forget, a good pilot is always learning, especially English. So see you next week. All the best. Your Captain Joe.